This is the MFS Wellness Podcast. I am Mike Sinopoli, and on this episode, we're going to be talking about the controversy of the sexualization around fitness, mainly through photos and videos shared on social media. The debate is usually along the lines of, is this a legitimate photo showing inspiration towards fitness, or is this an attention-seeking thirst trap? And to discuss this with me today is a group personal trainer, Renee Cappiello. Renee, how you doing?
I'm doing well today. How are you doing?
Oh, just fantastic. I'm excited to talk about this. This is going to be a fun subject to kind of go over. I feel like this is kind of a debate around social media over the last, 10 to 15 years, as the
Hmm.
the whole fitness influencer thing has boomed and everything like that. We're both kind of in that space a little bit here and there. So, and the reason you're here with me is because I have to have a female presence for something like this. No one wants to hear some guy up here talking about by himself or with another dude talking about thirst traps and things. But you had a reel you put out, and that's kind of how
Hmm.
we connected. I will play that in a second, but wanted to ask you, um, what what is your background in fitness overall? Just to kind of
Yeah,
like see where you're at, because you know where you're at with fitness matters in some of this kind of stuff. So, what have you done?
yeah, absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say I'd say for the last 10 to 15 years I've been very involved with fitness. From becoming a CPT, working full time as a trainer to part time as a trainer, to also working full time in HR, which was my professional career. Group fitness instructor, group fitness instructor manager for quite some time. So I've been kind of in and out of the I guess being paid for fitness and training people and doing that. But I think I've always been in the motivational space of fitness. I'm still a gym rat. I still work out every day. I'm sad if I don't. It's just one of
Mhm.
those things. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much my background.
No, that's
You
pretty
know,
cool. Yeah, yeah. And you don't have to be, that's the beauty of fitness. It's not, you don't have to be a professional. You don't have to have all these certifications and things like that just to go
yeah.
out there and you can just show your progress, show that you're into it and
Mhm.
kind of influence people from there. It's really just a positive space. And I do think that this subject, this thirst trap, this sexualization of fitness subject can kind of put a I don't know, a bad spin on fitness. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about a little bit, maybe where the line is drawn. But before I do that, you had your reel that you put out there, and it hit over 1 million views. Right? You got over a
Right.
million views on this thing. Isn't that's kind of cool? Did you expect to hit 1 million views on a reel like that? Did you expect that when you posted it?
You know what? I really didn't actually. I mean, I think on and off, I've been posting fitness content for, like I said, 10 to 15 years. And then, all of a sudden, it's just this one, was very relatable to everyone.
Right. It was
So,
was relatable, resonated, and that's why we're going to talk about it. And here's the audio from that reel.
There's a stigma that women who post gym photos um, are basically posting like thirst traps and that we're posting them for men. I found this out today. Um, no. What we're posting is inspo traps, motivational traps, proof of my hard work traps, I'm damn proud of myself traps, and get off your ass and do some work traps.
Now I want to go do some
yeah,
shrugs and work on my traps. Tell you that. That's what motivated me to do that. Do
for sure.
some build some shoulder some size there. So
Yeah.
anyways, so to those of you out there that you don't know, what is a thirst trap? What is a thirst trap exactly?
Hmm.
And I have a definition here. I got to our friends over at Urban Dictionary, or now it's AI basically. But a thirst trap is typically a deliberate, attractive, or suggestive post designed to elicit compliments, likes, and other expressions of desires from followers. It's evolution into like social media now is basically just posting something looking for attention, sexualizing yourself, wanting to get likes, fire emojis, DMs, all kinds of probably unsolicited dick pics, and all that kind of stuff, right? So that's basically what that is. Now, where do you think, where do we think the line is, like in a sense? Like,
Yeah.
what where's the line? Like when is it
Uh,
a thirst trap? When is it? What do you think? Because we have some other answers, from social media that I have, but I want to hear what you think first. Where's the line? Is there a
I
line?
think, I think honestly, I think the line is that people believe it comes with thirst trap only when they decide that they're the target of it or that they're projecting, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
to be honest.
it makes sense. It really
You
does.
know?
Now for me, I think that it's if it's fitness related, it's okay, look, if you're gonna be in a G-string with bent over with your finger in your mouth looking at at the camera, that might be a thirst trap.
That's
Um
soft porn. That's actually soft
that's a
porn. I
little bit
wouldn't
of a
say a
struggle.
thirst trap, but okay.
So let's say, a woman's in the gym, it's glute day. She's done with her hip thrusts and her leg presses and such, and then she's, takes a picture in the gym of her progress on her butt.
Hmm. Hmm.
Now, is there a difference now if you show your quads in a photo versus your glutes?
Yeah.
Is I Do you think that people will think one or the other is a thirst trap versus fitness just because the butt seems to be more of a sexually desired part of the body than the
Yeah.
quads? I mean, I don't see many men at strip clubs, not that I go to them, saying, "Hey, shake those quads in front of me, girl." I don't see that. Not in my not where I live.
I don't know. I think that quads are a big thing. I think a lot of guys are looking for mostly, oh, well, not quads, but I mean, they want to see that line. And I think when now like wellness is very popular,
Right,
over the last couple of years. So I think big quads is one of like the new it things for women to have in the gym,
right.
and men are really attracted to that. So kind of think about that. But I mean, am I guilty of a maybe like a side, glue and like popping my butt out? Yeah, for sure. I've done that
No,
in the past. I don't necessarily now. I have my kids on
sure.
social networking. So I mean, I know that they see everything, right?
Hmm.
Um, but do I think there's anything wrong with someone doing that? No, because I mean, if they're showing up authentically for themselves and, they were stick thin with no butt and, and they've been working hard and doing everything that they need to do, then I mean, girl, show that thing off. And 9 times out of 10, it's the women that are responding to that. It's not
Right.
really men that are responding, and
It's
if I'm posting a photo and, like my abs are showing, I'm getting fire stuff from my closest friends. I'm getting it from women that I'm not necessarily friends with. I mean, men, obviously they do have some negative thoughts on this that we've realized. But 9 times out of 10, it's the women that they're fueled by the motivation of that,
right.
to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I do think that takes a specific like fitness mindset to sort of be able to hash that out and respect it
Hmm.
in a way.
Yeah.
I think, say, a person who's not so much in the gym, and a lot of it can be a projection, that they're
Hmm.
not in there, they're not doing it. So to kind of take your progress down a peg, they're going to take it down and sexualize it, which cheapens
Yeah.
your look, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And now for someone like me, yes, of course, it's a fine line. It's a hard line to a gray area, more or less, I should say, because
Hmm.
yes, we're looking at the body and that's what we're attracted to. That's what it is. But at the same time, you have to just be able to have that respect for what a woman or a man is doing within the gym. I guess it's going to come down
Hmm.
just subjectively. So, but what about you? Like, so when you put a reel like that out, usually for me, whenever I put something out there on social media, usually
Yeah.
something happens to me that inspires me, triggers me, just makes me
Yeah.
want to like, hey, put my words out there. So you put this out there. Was there anything specific happen to you in any way that recent that made you want to put this info out there?
Well, so the same day I was actually scrolling and I had seen, some comments on some women's photos, about it being a thirst trap, etc. And then I actually went to go visit a friend one day, and her and her boyfriend were kind of busting on me about photos that I had been posting on my story. I don't usually post them on my page very much because they last forever, but on my story I'll throw a gym, selfie up there or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, I saw you, I saw your
Hmm.
thirst trap," kind of thing. And they're making fun of me. And I'm like, "What do you mean thirst trap? What are you talking about?" And it was literally me in my gym. We have very dark backgrounds. So everything's black. Looks, I guess you could say it looks, very edgy, I guess you could
Hmm.
say, in the background. And they considered it a thirst trap, though, as though I was, being promiscuous kind of thing. And I left there and I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it. It's like, I've been doing this for years. I mean, I have photos that I have archived of like, with my abs showing, I'm flexing, my kids are hanging off of my legs when I'm in the gym. I'd be there till 9 o'clock at night and we'd pop a quick photo. And it never ever crossed my mind that people would be looking at it as though, I was trying to entice men by showing any part of my body, whether I was just in a, and I'm in a sports bra and leggings. It's not like
Right,
I'm here with, short booty shorts and, very, very, I mean, sometimes low cut, but a lot of women, if you're big chested, you can't help it. I mean,
right.
they're there. I mean, you can't do anything about it,
It's just your
So,
body. It's your body in a certain way. It's
mhm.
just it's
So
what it
that's
is.
what
Like,
influenced me.
okay, no, that makes
I was
perfect
feeling some
sense.
sort of way, and
Yeah,
it never even crossed my mind. and everybody's like, oh, I got a lot of comments saying, like, oh, well, you just figured this out today. I don't
Yeah.
think that you just figured this out. No, I never thought of my content or what I put out like that as
Hmm.
being that way. I was just thinking about of especially being in the fitness space for
Hmm.
so many years and having women that I have trained that they're
Right.
watching you. They're watching what you do, they're watching what you eat, they're watching how you train, how you show up for yourself. So if you're putting out there that you're showing up for yourself, they're going to show up for them because they're like, "Oh shoot, like she just went to the gym. I'm going to go too."
Right. No,
So,
exactly. And a
and so
lot of,
that's what drove me to post
no,
it because I was
that's
feeling some sort of way.
hey, I could tell you where. And that's good. I like that because that's passion right there. And I like it. So, a
Yeah.
lot of people too, they're gonna like say talk from their perspective and their perception
Mm-hmm.
because like they're like, oh, you just figured it out today. No, I'm just speaking about it today. I've known
Yeah,
this
exactly.
forever. It's like, no, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't just because you're seeing me talk about it for the first time, I'm not unveiling some new content to you. It's like this is just me deciding to talk about it. That's just
Right, right.
you can go off the subject of just strictly perception of a photo being thirst trapped to anything really is just the way we're all thinking first person so heavily on
Mm-hmm.
social media. And that's why there's so much arguing on social media and in the comment section and all of that stuff. So
I know for
speaking of
sure.
speaking of the comment section, first off, I want to know on this reel here, did you get a lot of like positive comments more or less? Are
Yeah.
you getting a lot more support? Were you getting some negatives, trying to, some people maybe a little projecting or anything like that? Did you get anything like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, oh, actually a lot. I only had about two women who commented. I believe as of earlier today, there was about 1,600 comments or so. It had been shared maybe like almost 9,000 times. And out of that, um, there was only two comments by women that were negative. So it was like 99.9% of the comments were all positive that women posted and like it resonated with them. They were like, yeah, girl, you go, let them cook, or
Hmm.
cook, girl, like, say what you got to say. And all but one comment that a male made was they were all negative. All of them were negative. Like,
So,
why are you showing your ass? Why are you naked then? Okay, well then go ahead and delete all men off your social networking then.
oh yeah.
Things like that. The word they're just looking for the next rich man. That's why they post those things, that kind of thing.
Mm,
And like,
that's
I don't really think that's it, but
oh,
okay,
I
you
don't
know.
understand how a body picture is going to find you a rich man. I don't. I think it's going to find you a lonely, perverted man. Perhaps it's going to sneak into your DMs and start putting the WID in there.
I mean, I don't
Uh,
think the millionaires on yachts are really going to be scrolling through my Instagram. I'm gonna be honest with
I
you,
mean,
but yeah,
the
I mean, you
problem.
never know. But I'm just
The,
saying, I don't think they're searching for a woman on
yeah,
Instagram.
I don't think
I don't
that's
think so.
that's the first step to gold digging. I don't think that's really it.
No.
But
Yeah.
that's just that's just my opinion
Yeah.
on it. So you think so? Then answers my next question I had for you because like
Yeah.
commonly making the accusation towards thirst trap, you're getting it more from men.
Hmm.
Now let me ask you this: you like, for instance, what do you think if the roles are reversed? Like if I was to put a photo of myself, let's just
Hmm.
say, recently I had posted a photo of me, a progress photo from 24 to 42, and
Okay.
I had my shirt off in the a later picture, and it's nothing crazy. I'm just standing there,
Hmm.
bam, selfie. Think what you want of it. That's fine. I get it. But I, I just put a little funny thing in the. I did a whole spiel, and then at the end, I said, "Oh, sorry if my, hey, if my picture here is a little too much or thirst trappy for you, I got some other results on
Yeah.
my page." So, but nobody really gave me any flack for it. They're probably used to seeing that kind of content from me, anyways. But like when men do it, what from a
Yeah.
female, is there a? Do you guys like find? Do you like look at any men's photos and think that they might be thirst trappy, or what? What is it? Is there a different line for men and women? What do you think?
I mean, I think you could look at a male's content and kind of know. I mean, is this an OnlyFans type of guy who's trying to sell himself right now to get women to sign up for his OnlyFans, or is this a man who's posting a progress photo kind of thing? And I think it's
Hmm.
probably the same for women, right? And
Hmm.
sometimes that is all disguised as fitness, but I mean, nine times out of ten, you can tell when it's disguised that way. But I think men are celebrated more for their gym content and you see it everywhere. And then women are interrogated about their intentions. Like,
Yeah.
why? I really don't know.
Yeah,
No.
it doesn't make a lot of sense, and I'll agree with that. I do believe that it's unfair to women for sure. That
Hmm.
I just feel like women are just naturally, it's not fair, but they're more sexualized
Hmm.
in society, like than they're just better to look at. I mean, it personally, but you know what I
Well,
mean?
in a
So,
man's perspective, but I
well,
mean, if you
sure.
think about it,
I don't know.
like
I think women like to look at women, even in a non-sexual way. I think sometimes they like to just look at beautiful women more.
you're
That's,
fine, like
you
you're
know what I
gorgeous,
mean?
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. I mean,
like
and not in
it's
a sexual way, I
right,
mean, I think we enjoy lifting each other up too. I think we,
right.
most of the women that I know, especially in the fitness world, are like, hey girl, like, what you doing, what you training today, how you
Hmm.
doing, you go girl, fire emoji, you're fine as hell. But I think that the only thirst that's truly happening is like the thirst to control how women show up, really,
Hmm.
whether it's in professional setting, gym setting, motherhood, real life. How women show up, people feel as though they should have an opinion on it, and they shouldn't,
What do you
because if they're
think?
showing up authentically as
Right.
themselves, there shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, I got that makes sense. Now, what do you think
Mm-hmm.
about like if somebody's in a committed relationship? I guess
Yeah.
that's just the grounds of
Mm-hmm.
the relationship itself. Like
Yeah.
for instance, like maybe if you're into fitness but your significant other is not,
Yeah.
I feel like that dynamic would cause more of a rift than if you're both heavy into fitness, you kind of get
Mm-hmm.
it.
Right.
Um, or
I
is
think.
it, you know,
Mhm.
I don't know which way it is. What do you think? Like, what do you think
Yeah, I mean,
how
I
that should
think
be
that's
handled?
probably just a discussion that the couple should have. I've been
Hmm.
in that situation where I was heavy into fitness and started kind of transitioning into that before I was divorced, and the person that I was married to was not heavy into fitness, so he didn't necessarily understand those that type of progression. So I think that's probably just a personal conversation. But do I think that men and women who are both in committed relationships, married, whatever else, are posting progress photos of themselves? Yeah, I do. And I mean, do I think that's wrong? No, but it's not my place to judge how their relationship dynamic is,
Right,
and what they're
right.
comfortable with, to be
Yeah,
honest. So if we all just take a second, take a breath and breathe and not judge, I think it would be a little bit better.
yeah.
We
That
wouldn't be
comes
so angry at everyone, and judging and saying, well, she must be unhappy or he must be unhappy in his marriage or his relationship because he's posting a photo. I actually saw a reel not too long ago where the gentleman said, if you want to see if the marriage is happy, watch and see what the woman is posting on her stories. How many gym selfies is she posting? How
hmm
many car selfies is she posting? And I'm thinking to myself, no, like, listen, I'm out here living, like, we're out here living. We have so much that we're juggling every day, so much on our plates. We're having a little fun and we're showing up authentically and just being funny and goofy and we're taking photos. That doesn't have to mean that our relationships are falling apart behind the scenes. You
right.
know,
And it's
that's just how I see it. It's
not
unfortunate to be, why are you, and you're a male, you're a grown male who's sitting here saying, watch and see what the woman's posting.
mhm.
I don't really think a man should really be having that opinion on how a woman's dynamic is in her head regarding her relationship if you're not necessarily a woman either.
Right. I think we have too many opinions. Did I cut
Yeah.
you off? I cut
No,
you off. No, I
no,
think
you
we have
did. I mean,
I
I do
think
it
we
all the
have
time.
I
It's
think
the
we have
ADD.
too many opinions. Oh, I got it too. Too many opinions overall that don't have enough information. I think that's the
Yeah.
case, you know, because it's easy to go ahead and make this judgment and say that. I think the best policy is just to let people think what they want, in a sense, and do what you want. And,
Hmm.
you know, if it's affecting anybody as far as, you know, somebody close to you or anything like that, then there's a conversation to be had. I don't think there's a right or
Hmm.
wrong. I think that's just the way that it
Yeah.
is.
Yep.
It does stem too from, you know, it could be habitual, like an insecurity of needing validation of some
Hmm.
sort, because that is a place people will go to get, so they're feeling down about themselves and they may feel like they look good and then they want external validation from that.
Hmm.
Is it healthy or is it not? I mean, it could be, it couldn't be. It depends on how it
Hmm.
is. You know what I mean? That's overall, you know, hey, I feel like I look good today. I'm going to post a photo. A few people say, hey, awesome. You get a bunch of likes. They like this. Great. I think it should make you
Hmm.
happy, but it shouldn't be your sole source of validation for
Yeah.
yourself. I think there needs to be multiple facets of that. You can't wait for the external to always hit.
Right.
So,
Right.
but yeah, so no, like we said, everyone's gonna have their opinions. Now, I didn't know if you had any specific comments you wanted to share from the reel you posted, because I know those were always something like I always say that like, if you want to get close to hell, if you want to
Yeah.
experience hell, you
Yeah.
go to the comment section on social media, especially
Hmm.
X, but or Twitter, whatever. But I mean, for instance, Instagram, Facebook, it's all the same to me.
Yeah.
But the comment section is hell. So let's hear, you know, what you've extracted
Yeah.
from hell, and let's hear it.
Well, if it's from hell, it's going to be mostly the negative ones, like I said, and they mostly came from reels. So, one gentleman said, "Women posting to lure in rich men to get their hooks in." Yeah, almost everything everyone posts from the gym is for attention from others. So there's that. Yeah, sorry. When you're posting your ass and tits looking for attention, it's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy assumption to make.
Mm.
Yeah. So here's another one. They're 304s. Guys don't do this. They're not even lifting anything. Want to be inspirational? Get a PT certification. And I think to that, how do you know if somebody has a PT certification? I mean,
Right.
I mean, the internet is so vast and wide. How are you going to know?
Hmm.
If you're not doing it for attention, why post? You don't give a shit about what others do. Do you ever even help someone in the gym? No.
Why post anything then? Like, why post
Yeah,
anything
right.
ever? Why
Yeah,
post your family then?
yeah, yeah.
People will just go from their place of misery, unfortunately, and
Hmm.
react to it. It's a sad way to be, and I've seen it. I'm not talking from a pedestal. I've probably done it, but it's like
Yeah.
if you know something that's going to anger you on social media is probably something that you're lacking or not doing.
Hmm.
So if you're
Yeah.
not in the gym or you don't have an attractive girlfriend or significant other, or whatever it is, you're probably going to be hit with a little bit of jealousy.
Hmm.
And maybe those people, they find you attractive, but you're not with them and they don't have one. So they're mad, they're angry. So they're going to just do what they're programmed to
Yeah.
do and tear you down so that they can feel good about it. And it's kind of
Hmm.
sad that our society is a bit like that.
Hmm.
The same thing if you were to
It is.
post family, like you with your family, but you're whatever, your family's all fucked up and shit. And it's like, oh, fucking, blah, blah, blah. Or if you post anything monetarily or like like house or your car or something like that, that
Yeah.
maybe perceived as a status symbol. We live in a very envious society, in my opinion, I think, and it's
Hmm.
unfortunate that we do.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I
go
mean,
ahead.
I think the comments section of the reel really probably shoot like I can't even talk. The comment section of the reel probably prove one thing: it's that women are definitely hyping other women, and that men are analyzing women. To be honest,
That's too.
that's really what it seems to me. Because if you go through all the comments, it's mostly just all women saying, preach and hands up and fire, and it's been shared, and women have it's really weird to actually hear your voice laid over someone else's fitness content, and these women are making videos
Uh,
of them lifting,
oh,
and
that's cool.
taking selfies and stuff. It's surreal. But it's kind of the same thing that I've always gotten, and what I thought it was is that when you're posting these things, is that I'm posting because, well, first of all, it was my profession, but then also because I want to get other people off the couch. Like I said, like get off your ass and do some work. Really, if you want to have the mental health, number one, that people have from fitness, and then two, you want to have the body, you're going to have to get up off your ass and do some work. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and it's just not going to come easy. So when people see women who are juggling 5 million things, like myself, kids, work, jobs, whatever else, and we're still showing up and we're still putting the work in, I think that motivates a lot of women to say, like, I can do this too. And some men too. I mean, there was, maybe one or two male comments that were like, I applaud women who can post that, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
I
good.
mean, and if you think about progress photos, right? Like for myself, it was progress. I have two kids, they're older now, but at one point it was a lot of back and forth. We go through a roller coaster with our bodies, and it's really hard. And at some point, we're thinking we're never going to get back to where we were before. So, will we start at a baseline after having a baby, or if we're not feeling ourselves, we got postpartum depression, whatever else, and then we start seeing changes in the gym, and then we start getting that confidence, and we start feeling like ourselves again. We're going to put that out there, and other women are going to see it, and really, our stories become um, their playbook on how to be healthy, I think.
All right.
And for me too, I think that comes with anything, divorce, mental health, fitness, or being a professional. You show up as yourself, and that's going to motivate people. Like my story, sometimes I feel is a playbook for other younger women who are just now starting off in fitness or divorce or in a professional setting. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's amazing actually, because there's no shortage, there's a shortage of help out there, I think. You just, as far as not even just professional help, but just people who are
Hmm.
willing to kind of put themselves out there and do that sort of thing, like you said, which is great. I'm
Yeah.
similar in the same sense. And I think that's just what people need right now. I think there's a lot of bullshit out there. People have been through a lot of things, and I think we have to just flip the script a little bit and
Yeah.
just be more supportive of each other. I just don't I get it. I just don't
Hmm.
understand it, but
Yeah.
I'd like to see people just be more supportive in these things. And I think men too, you can't be threatened. I think men get threatened too by a successful, fit, independent woman. I really believe that. And I'm not trying to like put myself up there, but I don't get that. Like, I just don't. Like, I think it's great.
Hmm.
Like, I mean, that's fine. I'm not emasculated. If you know how to do something and you want a career, you want to do this or that, I'm not like, okay, great. Let's we do it together. If we're together, we do it together. That's just what it is.
Right.
Like, I don't want to. If anything, if I felt like emasculated by a woman, if I ever felt
Hmm.
I was emasculated by a woman, the last thing I will do is try to tear that woman down in any
Hmm.
way. What I'll be like is, oh fuck, this is kind of embarrassing. I
Yeah.
better go up my game and at least be there, be able to do the same things if I'm feeling
Hmm.
like it's that way. But you know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of these men feel emasculated. I mean, if a woman's fit in the gym and a guy's sitting on the couch eating Doritos and Mountain Dew with his
Hmm.
gut hanging down playing video games, I mean, he's probably going to feel a little emasculated by a fit woman, I'd say, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and if you see a woman who's juggling it all, right? She's doing the housework, she's doing motherhood, she's fit in the gym, and, she's making, 6 figures a year, or she's doing better than you. It takes a strong man to show up in that space to be like, hey, you know what? Like, that's my girl. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's my woman. She handles it all. She comes to the table. She doesn't judge me. She lets me show up as who I am. Um, I mean, I think we could probably talk about that all night, honestly.
Most likely.
It takes a really strong man to like show up in that space and not be emasculated, I think, to be
No,
honest.
I agree. I agree with you. And I do think there's something internally, instinctually in men though that wants to be a protector and feel like they're needed. I think there's
Hmm. Hmm.
something in them which is, not wrong or anything. I do believe that's just built in us as we've evolved. And
Yeah.
I think that now that that roles have changed in senses, which I think is fine. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I think that gets men uncomfortable and maybe they feel a lower self-worth
Hmm.
because if this woman can do it all, and I'm not, this isn't even like a bad man. I just think this is just a man wants to do things for his, or the right man wants to do things for his woman. And I think
Yeah.
that in a sense that if she can do it all, he feels a low sense of worth. Like he's
Hmm.
not needed here. If the man doesn't feel
Yeah.
needed, it feels unstable to that guy. I know this is
Yeah.
getting pretty deep out of thirst
Oh,
traps
I
and
love
stuff.
it. I know, I love it. But I mean, I think if a man wants to lead, then show up and lead. Do it.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Do it. And that doesn't always mean that you're going to be the breadwinner. It doesn't mean you're always going to, make more money than the woman. But you got to show up and do the little things.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because women that are successful, in their own right, they don't care about really the big things. Like they don't care about they care about the small things that you do for them at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
take something off her plate and go cook the dinner, go switch the laundry
Hmm.
over real quick. So it's done when she has her time that she folds laundry later or something like that. Like most successful women aren't looking for a man to sit here and lead. And I mean, there are women now that are, they say, like, I want the man to do everything. You got to show up, you got to pay for everything. I won't do 50-50, whatever. But I think there's a bigger conversation for that. If you love a person, then you're in it together.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I mean, going back to, like you said, about thirst traps and about men, kind of being upset or feeling some sort of way about it, it's kind of like, I look at it. I mean, I was raised by a very strong woman, and I was raised that way. That's how I show up, and not depending on a man to do anything for me. And then of course, through life, some women just learn that because they've been forced to. Some women have no choice but to show up strong, and independent, and sometimes they can be so strong and independent that it might rub a man a wrong way.
Right.
So,
Or
um,
they find out that bringing a man into their life is fucking up their rhythm. And it doesn't, you know what I mean?
mhm,
Especially if he's not on board to be uh compatible. If you're not
mhm,
compatible and you're confrontational or competitive in a relationship, one thing I learned and I heard once and it stuck with me for a long time, it might not be a revelation, but I heard it not too
mhm,
long ago, is that if a couple is is combative and competitive and in nature, and and somebody wants to win over the other one,
Hmm.
it leaves one person feeling defeated. And no matter what, and the feeling of feeling defeated is unsustainable between two people. So I don't know. I just wanted to put that out there because I just thought that
Yeah.
that's, that's you have to either, if she's a certain way, yeah, there's going to be women like you who want to do it all. The career woman, they got their stuff, they're fit, they're doing their thing. There are other women, that they want to have, they want to be the stay at home, the nester, and that's the
Hmm.
role they want to have. I don't think
Yep.
there's a wrong one. I just think neither one should be shamed. They should both be accepted, and just that's
Yeah.
the preference. And then you find somebody that complements it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think if women want to be, strong and independent and they want to work on their own and they want to work outside of the household, or like myself, I work from home, so I have a little bit more leniency to kind of show up as in the mom space a little bit more than some women who have to be at their 9 to 5 desk job. Um, or if they just want to be stay-at-home moms. I mean, I've been there and, it wasn't the best place for me, um,
Hmm.
which
Sure.
was why I got out of it. But um, I think however a woman wants to be and ultimately decides with her partner how she wants to be, how they want to do the dynamic of their household, that's really up to them. So, I mean, you can't judge a woman for being, wanting to stay home with her kids. And 9 times out of 10, with the cost of childcare, it makes sense that someone's
Mm.
staying home. There's a lot of dads that stay home now, and
Hmm.
the women are working.
Yeah.
So, because sometimes it just ends up working out that way.
Yeah.
Sometimes some spaces that women are in right now, it's just financially more stable and they make more money. So the men will stay home.
Yeah.
I think that's a couple decision.
Absolutely. And
But
they
right
should.
now, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I think they should just both be accepted. I mean, whatever works for people, there shouldn't just be a judgment, right? Like, who
Yeah.
cares? Who cares anymore? Everyone needs to
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. I think everybody just needs to kind of stop focusing on the gender issue. And I feel like the more that we don't talk about it, the more like this rift between men and women just continues to just get deeper and deeper and deeper.
Absolutely. And it's
Hmm.
it's not even just men and women. And I'm not going to go too far into this tangent because it will be here forever because it's so many different ways it feels like we try to divide ourselves. It's like it's getting worse in a sense, like between being males and females,
Hmm.
different races, religions, and things like that. It's just
Yeah.
the political parties, the worst, obviously, all of that stuff. It's just like they're finding there's just so many different ways that we can be divided. It's a shame that we are this way, but it's the landscape right now, and I do think kind of how this thirst trap deal kind of came about mainly through the only time you really see women posing in gyms would be in magazines who are
Hmm.
professionals or they're
Yeah.
physique competitors. That's really all you'd see. And now
Hmm.
we have access to millions and millions of people's pages who can post whatever they want, whenever they want, however they
Yep.
want, and we're all free to say what we want and think what we want. So it just causes a lot of rifts, and I think there's a lot of perception differences and things that just will never get resolved, right?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I think there's a lot of different reasons why some women in the fitness sector are posting those things. I mean, some of these women are getting free, I mean, they're getting free clothes, they're getting brand deals. And I mean, these are women with just a couple thousand followers are getting
Hmm.
messages and they'll send you free clothes, they'll send you free supplements if you post them online. You can make agreements, once you're at a certain amount of followers to make, $1,000 a month if you promote their product for them. So there's so many different reasons why those things may be posted, but we're not questioning when you see a big brand who has the posts, the poses or whatever else of these women in their outfits, but
Right.
we're the small time person who's at the gym posting that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're questioning that. It's the same photo, it's just literally a white standard background.
Right. Right.
So
It's crazy how
I don't know.
the it's a double standard all over the place so often, I
There
think.
really
But
is. Yeah,
so
but then you see big bodybuilder men who are constantly half naked everywhere, who are posting, who are
mhm.
selling, pre-workout and all of these other things. Why is that okay?
Yeah,
That's okay though.
it's another
We're
double
just all
standard.
supposed to be like, oh wow, look how lean he is. Look at this amazing shape.
Right.
Wow. But when it comes to women, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
like her ass is out. Oh my gosh, like look at her cleavage, look at her tits. I mean, some of us can't help it. Get over
Yeah.
it.
It does
I
seem
mean,
like
if what
that's
I mean, if what women are posting are irritating men, I think we're winning at this point. So,
yeah,
I mean,
hard.
I'm
It's
sorry.
hard.
I'm
It's
sorry.
hard.
Not to be feminist or anything, but it's like, hey, if it's
No.
pissing you off, I'm winning at
No,
this point. Because
I get it.
if you're that shallow to think that women are that shallow, then I mean,
I
we win.
I agree. And I stick with this rule for most things in life. I just go by this. I say, if I'm not hurting anybody and
Yeah.
I'm not damaging anybody's property, well, I don't think I care that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's, I just, who cares? Like, if you want to
Hmm.
post, I believe in the freedom to post a photo of whatever the hell you want. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, okay, I get there's lines of like full blown nudity and stuff that maybe not appropriate to be out there. Fine. But like,
Yeah.
if what's in reason, just, you're not, it's not doing anything. So I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
So
It's
I
like,
did.
stop.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, you
Sorry, I
go
didn't mean
ahead.
to cut you off.
No,
I
you're
thought you
good.
were done.
No, no, no.
I
I
was
thought
gonna
it was.
say, yeah, okay.
Go ahead.
I was just like, stop telling women that their confidence really is like for your consumption, basically.
Right.
Like we're confident, we're just gonna post whatever we want because oh my gosh, look at my abs or look at
Hmm.
my shoulders, or whatever else. It's like, come on. Now, every woman's different, as a
Hmm.
professional, I have to be careful what I post. I try to, be careful, but there's some women that's literally all they do is fitness. They're half naked all day long. They,
Hmm.
they get to work, they got pump covers on and they're taking them off and they're in sports bras and booty shorts all day long with clients training and nobody's questioning it. You snap a photo in the mirror and forget it. Then it
Hmm.
then it turns into a thirst trap, meaning you're posting it because you need a man, which is highly unlikely.
Yeah, it's like,
That's
why is that right away the first thing they go to? I don't know. But
yeah.
I did ask some folks on social media,
Oh yeah,
and I got some responses. So what I'll do is I'm going to read them to you,
do it.
and you can just kind of give me your thoughts on them. I think I'm gonna leave them anonymous just for the heck of it.
Good call.
So all right, so this first one says, so what I asked was, where's the line? Where is the line drawn where it goes from fitness inspo photo to thirst trap? What is your opinion of where the line is crossed? So this person here says, depends on who is posting it. Some are definitely sexual, others just look sexy while fit. So
Mhm.
what do you think of that?
Well, I mean, I can honestly say I do know a few women who use the gym as their hunting ground for men. I can't lie. I mean, I've known women in the past that literally have just gone to the gym to find men, whether they're single or married or not, to you know develop relationships with them. So they'll show up and they'll be half naked and they'll take photos, and then that kind of translates to online. But
Hmm.
do I think that them posing necessarily is always that? No, I don't think so.
Okay, that was
Yeah, I
by
don't think so.
what I will say on each one is if I is a female or a male. So
Okay.
that was from a female. So
Okay.
this one here is from a male. It's the intent of the poster. Some men will sexualize anything. Women do seek the male gaze for their own purposes. The line is by individual. So,
Okay. I think some women may seek the male gaze all of the time. I mean, I think that's just the world that we live in right now. I think a lot of women want a man. They want to be in a relationship and they want to find someone. But do I think necessarily a gym photo or gym content is directly pointed at a man? No, I don't think so. I think nine times out of ten, it's for progress. And like the other person said, it's probably the person posting it. It's maybe 1 out of 100 that it
sure.
might be someone that's being promiscuous, that's single, and is trying to get her DMs to blow up. Because I mean, a lot of people I know, that's where their dates come from now. The
Right.
relationships and dates come from DMs now, which is completely wild. These people don't even know can kind of see that. So if they're showing up promiscuous, then I mean, they got to think, what are they getting at the end of the day? If they're
Right.
getting a man that comes into their DMs, I mean, what are you getting? What's the point?
No,
That's my
I that
that's my
makes
thought of
sense. It makes sense. And I see the same thing too, like kind of what he says, the lion's individual,
it.
because I do believe like maybe if you can tell if they're thirst trapping based on maybe the rest of their content. How does their photos look out? Like how are they dressed up when they're out? What is
Hmm.
their, are they still doing that kind of stuff when they're just home chilling on the couch? Like, does it correlate to where it's, hey, it's not just fitness, but that's where I would
Hmm.
say, hey, stop blaming, stop throwing fitness under the bus, because one of my big
Yeah.
pet peeves about this whole thing isn't even gender related. It's more
Hmm.
about because if people are starting to get like a bad rap on these fitness photos, that's
Hmm.
one of the most inspirational things to share is your progress. And I think
Yeah.
it's hint and sometimes that's that little piece that keeps you going, is hearing that encouragement. And I can say for myself that I started doing nutrition counseling through showing my progress photos. Like
Yep.
I showed my food too. I posted
Hmm.
pictures of food and my progress, and I started getting DMs not hitting on me, asking me what I was doing. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was from a woman. She's like, "What are you doing?" Blah, 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 blah. And then this became my first client. And then I just went from there. And that's kind of, maybe because I'm a man, I'm not getting as much as you guys do from these perverse humans, but whatever, you know. So, anyways, that's just kind of like where I want to encourage people, in my opinion, is to don't be shy and bashful. Post it. It's if you're doing it for that content, that's what it is. So,
Yeah.
the next reply, this is from a woman. It's a definitely not looking for men's validation. Proud and want others to ask questions or seek help.
Yeah.
From a woman. So,
So, I mean, I think the people that are yelling thirst trap are pretty much the one that are the people that are refusing to admit that, women exist for their validation kind of thing. Like we're not
mhm.
seeking your validation. So I do agree with that. I think we want people to reach out. So I think my favorite things are when I can successfully influence someone else to show up for themselves in a healthy way, right? So they'll ask, what are you eating? What's your diet? Like basically, what's your diet look like? And I mean, these are things that I used to always make people pay me for, right? So
Hmm.
now I show up in a space where, I mean, that's not my main profession anymore. So I'll tell people, what am I eating? They're asking what my training split is. I don't care. I'll tell you. Here you go. Or, they end up saying like, I started this because of you, or
Hmm.
women who started working out with me 12 years ago, still today will kind of fall off the wagon and then they come back and they see like a fitness photo of me or something, they're like, I got to get back into it. I'm going back to the gym. I'm going this week. I promise. And you still like still holding those people accountable just by simply posting a photo sometimes.
Right.
And I think a lot of people don't realize who they're inspiring at the end of the day.
Right.
And it might be somebody that just wants to lose 5 to 10 pounds and, wants to be able to be a little bit more lean. And then it could be someone who needs to lose a drastic amount of weight or feels as though they need to lose a drastic amount of weight that you're influencing. And I think that's probably the most important. If you're showing up for that reason, then people think it's a thirst trap, whatever, or they think it's because we want men to show up for us. Then, I mean, that's their problem,
I
not
have
ours.
to I have to fully agree with you on that. And I do like that feeling that sometimes has happened to me. Yes,
Hmm.
we love our clients, yes, we love clients and doing it for as a business, but like I've had someone
Yeah.
message me once and say, "Hey, I've lost 20 pounds just by following your posts." And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Send money." No, I'm just kidding. Um, uh,
Like,
but for real. Hey, you're
yeah.
welcome.
Or
Where's
still
my
doing the stuff that you taught them, right? Because
Yeah,
when you're training someone, you're teaching them
all right.
essentially how to work out in the gym. I mean, those exercises we were doing 10 to 12 years ago, people are posting videos of the same exact exercises now.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed. So once they're learning it once, this is all information that they can keep. And even after you're training them, they can go back 5, 10, 15 years later and they can just restart. That's all you have to do is just show up for yourself and just do it,
Love it. That's so
you
true.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Next.
I think that's what we influence. That's
That's
what
it.
that's what we do.
That's what it's
Period.
that's what it's all about. And
Yeah.
the next one is from a woman.
Okay.
I don't care what anyone else is doing. I do it for progress pictures and to empower others. So that's
Yeah.
kind of like what we've been saying.
Hmm.
Another one here from a woman. It's the thirst trapping. She says starts when we can see more than necessary. Now maybe she has a point.
So I mean,
Maybe.
I think the biggest trend right now in the gym is the very very tiny sports bras, and then the very very short booty shorts that are
Mhm.
probably going up into a lot of things that most people don't need to be seeing while we're working out. You know,
Yeah.
um, or on social networking either. To each their own, really, is what I say. At the end of the day, like I said, if a woman is posting those kind of things and then they're checking those DMs and they're looking to see what they're getting out of that, they're not going to get anything of quality. So
Hmm.
if that's what they want to do, then girl, you go ahead and do that. But I would say 99% of women are just posting it for other women to show up for, and they're showing, and you know what? Some of them are like, I look damn good. I busted my ass to get where I am today. I'm going
Hmm.
to post that photo when I have abs, when at one point I was unsure if I was ever going to feel like myself again, or even mental health wise, when I was in a dark place. And I couldn't even get up in the morning. I thought my life was over. But now I'm showing up for myself. I'm at the gym, I'm putting my music in. This is where I show up for my mental health, not
Mm.
only just my body. I think it's good for people to share that and empower other people.
I would like to do a panel podcast on include you in it and a few others on people who, and I did an episode on it with a gentleman who was a ex-Marine, and he
Hmm.
said it was about, the title was how the gym saved his life.
Yeah.
And that what you're saying, when you're in a dark place, and I've been there myself, and the gym has, and I know it's, some people won't get it, but it actually saves, I don't know if it saved my life, but it really was that place and still is that place that just, I don't know, everything just seems to be all right.
Hmm.
Things just lifts you out of these dark places, and it's so
Yeah.
necessary. And to scare people from that or shame them out of it, because if you're shaming people for pictures in the gym, you're gonna, cause them to feel some sort of lower self-worth, and they're gonna be, well, maybe I shouldn't be in the gym, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. If the person's
Hmm.
a moldable, influential, able to be influenced enough, that they might turn away from it, or start to feel embarrassed. And
Hmm.
I've had that happen to myself. I'm not going to post any more pictures. I might offend somebody. I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
That would be
Second
fun.
guess, always second guessing, right? I feel like, I mean, I do that. I second guess that. I mean, I actually archived that reel three
Hmm.
times because I second guessed myself, thinking, I don't know if I really like what I was saying. What are people going to think about me? The people that are
Hmm.
close to me. I mean, it's different when you have people on the internet, you don't really know them. But when you have the people that are close to you that have known you for 10 to 15 years, you
Yeah.
get nervous. You're like, oh, well, what if they think I shouldn't be talking about that? Or, because I'm not a full time trainer anymore. Maybe I shouldn't be
Right.
showing up in the fitness space anymore. Like you
Ah,
kind of like get in your head a little bit.
yeah.
And then finally I just left it because I got so much positive feedback about it.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think,
That's the old
I think
imposter
it would
syndrome.
be,
That's
yeah.
the
And
imposter syndrome coming
it
in.
really is. It
You
really
know,
is. And I mean, I have days, like you said, that are really hard in the gym, and there's not a picture going to be taken because, you have your headphones in and you're listening to music, or sometimes you're not listening to anything. You just need to like kind of zone out and have that peace for yourself. And there's moments where you almost break in the gym,
yeah.
at least I do. I get tears in my eyes and I think about things. I let out like my anger, frustration, hurt, those type of things in the gym. And I know that sounds so cliche because so many people say that, like take it out on the weights or whatever. No, that's really what I do. And if certain songs come
Mm.
on that
Oh
trigger
yeah.
me, like forget it. I got tears in my eyes. Like people don't look at me, don't talk to me. There will be no gym photos after this kind of thing. You know
That's
what I mean?
yeah. That's
And those are like you said, the person said like the gym saved me. No, the gym, yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot away from
hmm
me mental health wise, and takes it off your shoulders. But like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it all here and leave it here because when I leave this space of the gym, I have to show up for other people. You
hmm
know, not everybody who's in the fitness industry obviously is a mom, right? We see a lot of women who aren't moms showing up in this space that are really hot and have nice bodies too. But for us moms, at the end of the day, we have kids that are expecting us to show up for them too. And so if we don't show up for ourselves first, I mean, in the gym and letting it all out, you don't even know what kind of animal you're getting every day.
yeah. I think
Watch
what
out.
you I think
And
what
my
you
kids
just
know. My kids know. They're like, oh shit, mom didn't go to the gym today. Like, and my oldest, he's super into fitness too. And he's like, you going to the gym today? You going to the gym
Mhm.
today? Because he knows if I don't get my workout in or I don't go, like I'm just not going to feel like myself. I'll
Right.
be like, oh, I feel gross. I feel tired. And he knows I'm angry. I'm
Right.
yelling at everyone.
They want you to be happy. So get to the gym, ma. Come
Yeah.
back home so you don't yell at us
Yeah.
later, because I know how
I
cranky you
mean,
could get.
I mean, like you said, like I mean, we're both Italian. We understand. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna be yelling no matter what. At the end of the day, I'm
Yes.
gonna be yelling. It's gonna
Huh.
happen.
100%. 100%.
But
But I like everything you just said in the last minute and a half. Yeah, that's a sound clip to keep. You said a lot of good stuff in a very short amount of time right there. So that
oh,
was
thank
awesome.
you.
And then yeah, and then I post one of those pictures, all in sweats, vein coming out, doing a deadlift, sweating, spitting coming out of your mouth, and then post that, and then see if someone has the balls to call that a thirst trap. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone will, but
Someone will. I mean,
somebody will.
should a woman be doing clamshells, and have the camera angled to kind of see, the lower portion of her ass and
No.
you know
And
no that's completely inappropriate, but that's almost soft porn. I mean, that's not even fitness. I mean, real fitness professionals are not showing up in that space like that. They're just not. They're not going to
right.
put that out there because they want to be seen as classy
Yeah.
and reliable and not like a skank. I'm
Ex-
sorry. No
right.
offense to women who are doing clamshells on videos. I got
That is what it is. You know what I have to do, what I make sure I do in the gym, because it always becomes a very awkward moment, is just my rule in the gym is do not ever, ever make eye contact with someone hip thrusting. Never do it. I did that once with a man. It was so uncomfortable. Just like
hmm
he was hip thrust. I just walked by. I don't know what I was doing. I looked over. He looked at me while he was hip thrusting. We caught each other's eyes, and I was like, "Ugh." I was like, I got to turn away. I don't know, but anyways, I'm getting off base here. So the
No,
next,
it's true though. Nurse the wall, or like, if I'm doing good mornings or, RDLs and things like that, I'm very aware and conscious of who's behind me,
hmm
constantly. I'm not bending over in this person's face behind me, this male's
that's
face.
and
It's just not gonna happen.
that's another thing that's grown, and it's probably another topic on its own. We won't get into it now, but you mentioned something about looking around at who's around. I've heard there's a lot of discomfort from people feeling like they might be being filmed in the gym, like
Oh, yeah.
like a woman squatting or something like that. And there's some dude with his camera just a few machines away, just like popping a video, sending it to his friends, and you know
hmm
it's like, dude, come on, like
It's completely inappropriate. And
those are
it's
just
so normalized now too, though. I mean,
that's a shame.
you think about how many tripods we have in the gym now. There's
Yeah.
tripods everywhere. It's like, what are you
hmm
doing? Like why are you filming yourself doing a squat? Squats are all done the same by everyone else.
Right.
You can Google that. You know what I mean? They
Right.
could chat GPT how to do a squat. You, the person with 500 followers, do not need to post a video on how someone
Mm-mm.
squats or does a lunge. What are you
No.
doing? you know
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
what I mean, that's a whole different topic, but and it's annoying because it's in the way. Actually, somebody did comment something about um your tripods are in the way. First of all, I have never ever set up a tripod in the gym, and I never ever will, because I know what it's like to have to move around those things. And no offense to somebody that is, but
I got a tripod.
well, I mean,
I have one.
but do you set it up while you're squatting?
I don't even bring it to the gym. It's for other stuff.
Okay, okay, I mean,
I might bring it on my trip with me. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah. I mean, no offense to anybody who uses a tripod in the gym, but like just be aware of your surroundings,
Yeah.
right? Don't film any women, even if she's in the background, right? Make sure there's no
No.
women in the background. And then make sure your tripod's not in a high trafficked area.
And
To
you
each their own. Do your thing,
exactly.
but
And those men who are filming women in the gym are the same men who are then on some sort of woman's social media telling her that she's a thirst trapping, and he's just going to be toxic left, right, center. That's my opinion.
exactly. And I
So,
mean, it depends on the woman too. I mean, I have a lot of DMs. I do not answer the DMs of men that I don't know
okay.
necessarily. You know what I
So,
mean? Like you just know, you can
yeah.
always see like the first, four letters that are like, damn, baby, or hey,
hmm
girl, you so fine, or something like that is like
hmm
swipe, delete, swipe, delete. They're never
Yeah.
going to see that I read that ever.
Couple drool emojis and
Yeah.
all
And
that good
there may
stuff.
be sometimes if they're continuous, it's like, okay, click their profile and block, because at that point, it's like, I don't even want you to have access to me because it's borderline
I
stalkerish.
I always say this. This is a rule every man should follow going forward, approaching a woman virtually.
hmm
Never, ever, ever double text. Ever. Never.
Oh,
You send one,
yeah,
you leave it there. If she's interested, she's going to respond.
I agree.
You don't come back and try harder. You don't come back and tell her off. You don't come back.
hmm
She didn't respond. You don't call her a whore, because that's fucking rude, and that makes you look like a insecure little man.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
so get rid of the double texts and the chasing. That's just my opinion. So the
Yep.
next one from a female. Uh, so she says there is a very clear line when it becomes a thirst trap. Now that's all she said. So I asked her to please kindly, can you please elaborate? So she goes on. She says, I don't post thirst traps, for example. My pics are to document my progress. I think it's all in the pose. I really can't describe it, but plenty of women pose in sexual manners. They stick their boobs out and their butts out. You know what I mean? So, little maybe different than what we were talking about. So, what do you think about that one?
hmm All right. Say that again. They stick their boobs out. It depends on the pose. They
She
stick their
depends on
boobs
the.
out and their
She
butts
says
out.
it
I
depends
mean,
on
what
the
if she
pose.
has big boobs? What if she has big boobs and a butt? I
I
mean,
mean,
a lot of women are paying. A lot of women are paying for those things nowadays.
they're always,
I hate to say it, but it's
exactly.
true. I mean, but they're also posting. Their shoulders might be popping that day. It might be shoulder
hmm
day. They might have a little bicep flex, or they might have their legs out and they're posing their quads. I mean, I don't really know. Boobs out. I mean, are nipples showing?
I mean,
I
it
mean, is it a
depends.
little cleavage? I mean,
It
I think I have
depends.
cleavage right now. I
I
mean, come
mean,
on.
if you're squeezing them
Like,
together up in front of the camera with two dumbbells, then maybe. But if
okay,
you,
yeah,
you know,
maybe I could see that. I mean, but I mean, a lot of fitness chicks. I mean, a lot of them have breast implants, obviously,
right.
and I mean, if you're lean, and you're a bodybuilder, which I think there's a fine line between bodybuilder and then fitness, right? It's all
Hmm.
one, it's all fitness. But when you're a bodybuilder, I mean, there's no way their tits, excuse my language, are not popping. They are
Right.
popping because everything else is so lean. It might look like a thirst trap to a normal person. Their glutes, where they're showing off their glute progress, other bodybuilders are looking at their glutes being like, wow, look at your glutes, girl. Like, look how amazing your glutes look how amazing your chest looks. To the normal person that's not in that world, they're going to think that's a thirst trap, I think, to
I
be
think you're
honest.
right. Yeah, it's just going to
Yeah.
be one of those. You just got to opinion by
Mhm.
opinion. And so it's going to be.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
got another one here. This is a bit of a longer one. So bear with me while
Okay.
I read this one.
I'll try to
I
remember it all. ADD and all. Okay. I'll
That's
try.
right. You do your best. You just take it all in. Just take it all
All
in
right.
as I read it like shit. Okay. I think it depends on intention. I share my progress because I'm proud of my hard work, not to sexualize myself. This is a woman, by the way.
Okay.
If someone sees it as a thirst trap, that's their perception, not my purpose.
Mhm.
And honestly, some men see a confident feminine woman and assume she must be posting for their attention. But that
Mhm.
reflects their mindset, not my intention. It also feels like women can't win. If we're insecure, we're told to love ourselves more. But if we do love ourselves and show confidence, we're told we're seeking attention. It's exhausting
Mhm.
trying to exist within a double standard. I've learned that I can't live for anyone else's comfort level. Confidence isn't arrogance, and self appreciation isn't an invitation for judgment. I think that was well said. What do you say?
No, I think that's wonderfully well said. I think that um, saying it's not a thirst trap. It's literally her progress. It's literally her work. Um, and it's everyone else's reaction. Like, everyone else's reaction is not her responsibility. She's showing up in that space because of her progress, basically, and how she wants to show up. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree 100%.
And
I
then,
think it's the same thing, how she shows up for herself. Other women are seeing that.
yes,
It's not her responsibility at all.
most certainly. Most certainly.
So,
Last one from a man.
okay.
Last one here is from a man. Most chicks are hoes, and
I'm sorry.
that's and they're posting with extremely short shorts. Sex sells, and they know this, but play victim
Okay.
anyways. Men,
Well, well,
men are not. I know. I had to read this one. I had to.
okay.
It's from a man. I don't know who it is, but um, anyways, sex sells, and they know this, but play the victim anyways. Men are not looking at them they're because while their form is working out is good. Sorry, it was choppy there. Men are not looking at them because their workout form is good. That's what he's saying there. So
Oh,
what do you think?
men. Okay, so wait, let's review that. Men are not looking at them because their workout form is good.
Right, they're
Okay.
looking. He
Well,
thinks that men are looking
what,
at women because
what
of their sexual
cool.
parts.
Well, I mean, what if women don't care what a man is thinking when he's looking at that post? Because literally it's not for him. And I think that it's not going to be sexual until a man makes it sexual, to be honest.
Hmm.
If he's sitting there and he's making it sexual, like, bro, that's in your head right now. That is not what she's posting it for. You don't know what's in her head because you're not there with her. You don't know her. That's when it's sexual, is when the male makes it sexual. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like, we don't women don't need strangers to approve their body progress, or need a man's validation on what their progress is. They put it out there, and if you go and look at the reel, anyone that watches this or listens, you're going to see that the women there, they constantly say they post it for motivation, for inspiration, for their own progress. A lot of women, myself included, I post on Instagram usually 9 times out of 10 milestones, right? Or summer, a trip. Um, Sometimes it might be a body, it might be last year to this year, that kind of thing. Or sometimes it might be a gym photo because I look hot. some days. I mean, I'm not being conceited, but some days I get in the gym and I'm like, man, like I've been pushing my water, I've been taking all my supplements, I've been eating my protein. Like I look hot today. Like holy shit, I'm gonna go take a photo of myself, and I take it and I keep it in my phone and I don't even post it. But there might be a random time where I do post it, and then a man just decides that it's sexual, and he, then all of a sudden the DMs are going off, and it's like, bro, no, go get a job. Like if you're just sitting here waiting for a woman to post something, you have no life. I'm sorry. I'm just
Hey,
kind of getting just very general right now, but like
oh,
it's almost like women post progress and then men are thinking it's like fantasy. You know what I
right.
mean? Like this is not your fantasy. This is our real lives. This is what we're doing every day and how we're showing up for ourselves and other women. Period.
Yeah, and some of these men, they have to go and take care of business before they go scrolling on the internet, I think.
Well,
If you know
I mean,
what
hey,
I'm
and if
getting at.
I know I do. And I mean, if a woman's progress triggers you as a male, like, yeah, I mean, that says a lot more about you sexually or your hormones or whatever the heck you got going on at home that you need to handle. Go do that. Because coming into a woman's DMs or insulting her or like trolling, literally trolling and making inappropriate or rude comments on a woman's photo or reel is just blasphemy, to be honest.
No.
I mean, I
Oh,
had
I
men that
know.
also that I hid comments too that I didn't say that they were insulting. Like, oh, I've looked at your gym, your workout videos, and there's nothing impressive there. I can tell you what, I don't have a workout video. I have no workout videos. I don't post videos of myself doing any type of exercises. So I knew that he never even went and looked at my profile,
Right. He was just
but it
he
was
was trying
literally
to,
just him trying to be insulting. It's like,
yeah.
come on, like, is that how
That
you talk to
backfired.
women?
That
Yeah, and
backfired on him.
he probably has no wife, no girlfriend. He's probably
Right.
home miserable, just hating women. Like,
Yeah. It's
go away.
probably it.
You wish you could have a woman that, has this type of self-confidence, but you couldn't even stand next to me for 5 seconds,
No.
period.
Probably
Because you're
threatened.
small. You get what I'm saying? Like you're small.
Hmm.
Like you wouldn't be able to stand next to women like us at the end of the day because you would feel insecure. And that's not what strong women have. They have men that are very secure in themselves, and if they're not, they gotta go.
Yeah.
So they can just stick to the DMs.
So
The
that's good.
unanswered DMs of women,
Yeah,
you know?
those unanswered ones.
Like, why
Absolutely.
are you
Yeah.
so angry? Go get
Right.
therapy or something. Like, who
Oh,
scorned you for real?
I know. It's brutal out there, man. It's just so
I mean,
much.
it is. And I mean, there's both ways, right? I get it.
Right.
I get it. Men do things, women do things, people hurt people, whatever. But like taking it out on everybody else and the rest of the world, it's not a one size fits all type
No.
situation.
And that's what
I've been
social
there. I
right.
know,
That's what
you
social
know?
media has become. It's an unhealthy outlet for people to take their own miseries, frustrations, and
Hmm.
shortcomings out directly on other people in all
Yeah.
facets,
Yeah.
not just fitness, but you
Hmm.
see it every which way. And the problem we have too is that people are making judgments without even really getting to know anybody at
Yeah.
all. Like,
Hmm.
I mean, how can you have such a if somebody wrote something 2 or 3 sentences in a comment, whatever it says, just because you don't agree with it, whatever. How could you completely just like hate that person that deeply just from
Hmm.
the words, especially if it's not a hateful comment, especially if it's not like I get it, okay, if the comment's saying to kill all these people, okay, fine, different story. But like if someone's just giving their opinion on something like, hey, this is a
Hmm.
really nice video, very good, thanks for sharing your progress. And then someone's to come in and reply and say, why are you encouraging the sexualization, you fucking piece of shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they're coming on there and they're just out there to
All
hate and
women are
troll.
hoes.
They're all of them, every one of them, every single
Yeah.
one. We're all
All women are hoes,
they're
basically, is what that gentleman
yeah.
said. So, I don't think so. I mean, I think when push comes to shove, at the end of the day, motivational posts only look like thirst to the thirsty. Period.
I think that's a good way to wrap things up a bit there.
Yeah.
And I do think that keep it motivating out there and do your thing. I think that's the ultimate thing that I would put out there if to kind of say the last word is just do you. Don't worry too much about what people think. I'll tell you, I've had things like how you said you had the reel in your draft. I've had photos in my phone. I don't know if I should share this or not. I don't know if I should. It's just
Hmm.
and telling not just telling people what to do, but myself too. Just if you feel good about it, do it. If it's not hurting
Yeah.
anybody, if someone's going to be offended by something that's not meant to be offended, and that's not your problem. All right. If you're
Yeah.
going out there trying to be offensive, trying to be gross, trying to be a dick to people, we're going to know. It's going to be obvious. But if you're doing
Hmm.
something good, yeah, you might get yelled at. I think some people even get upset about putting out good things and trying to be good as a virtue signal. But not all it's not always like that. It seems to be that that's also a projection that they're not doing something good and you doing
Hmm.
something good that bothers them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's just
Yeah.
a whole other thing. That's my thing. Just do good stuff. Anyone that's mad that you're doing something positive, they're they're just not doing it. They're pissed. Bottom
Yeah.
line. So
No, absolutely.
so any closing sentiments, anything else you'd like to say at all before we close it up? Maybe
Oh,
give out your Instagram handle too, in
I don't even
case
know if I know it by, do I
you know
know it by heart? Renee underscore, wait, Renee, do I know? Let's see.
it's all right if you don't know it.
What
I
is it? Oh,
can
it's Renee, Renee underscore star, STARR. And that is actually my middle name. A lot of people think like I gave myself a stripper name because it does kind of sound like a stripper name. It is absolutely not. One of my
never.
friends was like, wait, that's really your middle name? Yeah. Yeah, it is.
All right.
Thanks to my mom.
Stripper names, thirst trap videos. Look at you.
Yeah.
No, I'm
But
just
I mean,
kidding.
I think at the end of the day, it's just kind of like you said, do you? And ladies, like get in the gym. Like, let's go. Let's work out. Let's get in the gym. Let's get this mental health right. Let's get our bodies right. And if somebody wants to talk about it, reach out to you. They can pay
Yeah.
you. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
give them free stuff, of course, because I love my friends and I love my girls and I love pushing them. But um, yeah, I mean, let's do it because a lot of women don't know what they're missing until it becomes an obsession. And
There you go.
once you get that endorphin hit at the end of your first intense workout, that's it. You're done.
That's
Let's
that's
go.
it.
Yeah.
Straight straight from the mouth for herself. That's what it is. She knows her stuff. And yeah, if you want to get in touch with me, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn at MFS Wellness. You can send me an email, Mike at mfswellness.com. So stick it out there if you're thinking about sharing your progress. You don't know who you're going to reach. You don't know who you're going to hit. You don't know what it's going to become. Like, I mean, for me doing this, I ended up becoming a trainer, coach, and all that stuff just from sharing my own progress. Things are getting out there and it's motivating to people. Renee's out there motivating people. So don't hide. It's out there and it's up to people to go and view your stuff. Your page is yours. It's your space. People can come on there and do it. They are not obligated to do it. If they have a problem with it, that's their own issue. Never forget that. So for Renee, I'm Mike, and we will talk to you on the next episode.